I continue at the end of the last paragraph. These plans must succeed because, as I write, many Africans are languishing in modern day slavery as a result of looking for greener pastures in Europe. Our common challenges. This brings me to the current political debate, including Brexit. While many issues are up for political debate, and it is a good thing, some very fundamental prerequisites for life, peace, and progress are in need of attention beyond politics, religion, philosophy, or any other hitherto established understanding of the world. Scientists say that we have 12 years left to avoid irreversible climatic disaster. Climate change is presently exacerbating already difficult economic conditions for rural African populations. Successful industries are successful at the expense and deprivation of people who are equally deserving of basic human rights. Very rightly so, Her Royal Highness, Crown Princess Mary, has spoken out about the fashion industry's ethical obligations. This gives hope. Other industries deserve closer scrutiny as well. And not just scrutiny. Their obligations need to be determined by the democratic majority. Corporate social responsibility needs to be designed by the people for the people, and CSR programs need a democratic stamp of approval. The process of achieving such CSR is what the Zisakuduce Planet Festival is designed to do. Our first event will be small in comparison to what the planet really needs, but we're sure that once the idea is understood, it will spread across the world as many people see the need for immediate comprehensive action. For this reason, what we are introducing is Comprehensive Corporate Social Responsibility, CCSR. 7 days in July shall cover 5 differing topics conducted in reference to 3 pillars. And these pillars are the empowerment of women, climate change, and migration. The 5 topics are hemp farming, the music industry, mental illness, water rights, and prison systems. All of these are relevant to all people, but do have a particular impact on the African American population, who in turn have influence over much of the world's modern culture. Recognizing and making use of social dynamics in this way is central to developing efficient CCSR. Then we get to the point of apology for slavery. Much of the adversity experienced by the African American population is the legacy of slavery, and so at this point in time I shall have to confess that the confidence to write to Your Majesty and the firm belief that Your Majesty will hear me is based on Your Majesty's apology for Denmark's role in slavery on her visit to Ghana. That rare and noble act is exactly the necessary basis on which to build positive strategies for Africa and Black people around the world, because it signifies a mentality shift. To eventually bring about the necessary paradigm shift in relations between Africa and the West, many more mentalities must change, especially African ones. I am hoping that this letter will make many Africans and Black people realize that we can formulate and present our causes to influential people, and that many such people are willing to hear and work with us as we rise to rule our destiny. After all, we all belong to the same social contract. Necessary leaps of faith, like the ones described by Søren Kierkegaard, are necessary, as are the social inroads built on the insights of NFS Grundtvig. These, hand in hand with age-old African traditions, should form the necessary underpinning for all development agreements between Denmark and African countries. Only the steady continuity of monarchy can guarantee that such a long-term agenda plays out within the right framework. It's getting too dark to see, huh? While all governments in the West have reason to refrain from apologizing for slavery, monarchs, the custodians of ethics and morals, are obligated by their very throne to acknowledge that violations of human rights are indefensible. I highly commend Your Majesty for showing such a good example, and I hope that all other monarchies with a similar past will follow suit. CCSR to address legacies of slavery. It is obvious that governments and royal families refrain from making all-out apologies for slavery for fear of demands for reparations that may ensue. Since this is the case, my position is that we, the Africans and black people of the world, should by consensus design reparations for slavery within the framework of CCSR, because it is by far more efficient to focus on structures and technicalities than politics and human nature. Fallible human nature. The political debate concerning immigrations or immigrants in Denmark is serious, but nowhere near as serious as the conditions that caused the migration in the first place. Whether they be economic realities, conflict, lack of security, disaster, misinformation, or misconceptions, they all have an impact on African economies, which in turn impact European economies. It is therefore our common responsibility to propagate tested solutions. This is where CCSR comes in. In fact, CCSR comes in everywhere and must be pursued and improved with each coming generation. Danish miracles. CCSR's principles are not foreign to Denmark and are based on the same economic understanding that go back as far as King Sven Forkbeard, who lived from 985 who ruled from 985 and to 1014. And were responsible for the Danish economic miracle between 1957 and 1961. Indeed, the background to Denmark's economic progress until this point should awaken the curiosity of more people. It should, if social evolution had a prize, Denmark would have won several. At the heart of Denmark's early prominence in economic equilibrium is the particular character of the Danish people, which no doubt played a determining role in why land value tax was more readily embraced. Your Majesty, I cannot contain my excitement as I declare that Denmark has a choice between either continuing today's dismal political narrative or offering true global leadership in a socio-economic paradigm shift. The best part of it all is that Denmark already did the necessary homework. What impresses me the most is the effort that was put into the process of transition from one tax paradigm to another. The importance of it is priceless, yet hardly recognized. I hereby quote a gentleman by the name of Ole Lefman, who did a SWOT analysis of the land value tax implementation in Denmark. Take a break right